Okay, we are live. I'm really excited. Hi, everyone in our Facebook Friendship Network. My name is Krystle, and obviously this is Shekinah, if you haven't met her before. I am really excited tonight to go live with you all and share October. Can you believe it's October already? And just honouring the feminine. Hi, Grandma. Thanks for jumping on. First viewer. I'm excited just because we can really focus on a lot of topics in amongst what your brand is with honouring the feminine. So you'll see a lot of different topics come over the next couple of Mondays, but tonight is purely about more a massage side. And I think just to get us started, we'll do a bit of an intro and then you can introduce yourself. And we'll just have a range of questions really elaborating through massage. So if anybody jumps on and has any questions at all, please feel free to pop in the chat, pop any love hearts or likes or share. Anyone that you find that this may be of value to. Certainly we are all about paying it forward this month as well and sharing the love around. So if there's any beautiful friends or sisters or parents or anyone that you know that would value what we are doing, then please share the love. So I first met you, I think, nearly 2 years. I'd say a year and a half definitely ago.
Oh, it's probably longer than that. You know how quickly time goes.
Yeah, time just goes really fast. Yeah. Certainly I was your personal trainer, but we really truly met online. I think that's how us Gold Coast girls got to know each other a little bit more. And obviously I started to learn more about what you did through massage only. That was really all I knew about you. I didn't delve deep enough until, well, I think it's the end of last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then just really reaping the benefits of what you do. So that's why I'm really excited to share this about. So if you just wanted to do a generalized intro of yourself, like where your starting point was, maybe a turning point in your life and to where it's led you now.
Oh, goodness.
Where did it
begin? I guess the easiest way, the most succinct way to put it, I would say, is that I spent probably a little over 12 years doing corporate work. So I was in front of a computer more than 8 hours a day, deadlines, you know, and I guess doing a job that felt like it didn't have a lot of purpose beyond making money, paying the bills, doing that sort of thing. And I could feel that I wasn't thriving, that I wasn't really that happy. It was good to have the things. I got to buy a house, I got to do things like that, but there was definitely something that was missing. I was starting to get bouts of depression and just feeling less than whole. And I guess a part of that made me start going to different women's retreats and finding that part that felt like it was missing. And it was while I was on a women's retreat and after a little rite of passage thing that we'd done, everyone got to choose something that they really wanted. And I'd heard about this Kahuna massage or this Hawaiian Style Massage, and two of the people who were there facilitated it. You know, they were practitioners, and I was like, oh, I think I really, really want one of those. So I got this, it wasn't even a full massage. It was only like a 10, 15 minute 2-on-1 experience, and it was enough for my whole everything. My body, mind, and spirit to just go, yes, oh my God, yes. I want to help people feel like this. This is something that feels like it has purpose. You know, it's beautiful, it's juicy, it's intimate, it's connected, and it is, it improved my life and my experience just from 15 minutes of it. So I quit my job. I quit my career, yes. And I followed the yes, and I began to study Hawaiian Style Massage or Kahuna Massage, as it's also known.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah,
that's pretty amazing. A turning point.
Definitely. It was a 180-degree turning point. I went from being in that masculine-driven world of logical, rational computer, all of that to body worker.
Yeah, amazing. Well, I think that's going to lead me into my next question. The cat actually lying on my notes, which is super cute, so I'm a little distracted. I think what would be really good for those that are watching is probably to elaborate more on the background of Kahuna. I can never say it right. I'm going to say Hawaiian massage.
Yeah, you do that. It's a nice word.
Very feminine word. What is the meaning and background behind it? I think that a good starting point. Let's roll with that.
Yeah, I think one of the things that was surprising for me and that I loved the most from going and doing the training was I thought, oh, yeah, I'm going to go and learn how to do this really yummy style of massage or body work. But what I really got out of it, I mean, besides that, of course, was the whole philosophy, the whole Huna philosophy that came with it. And so for me, not only did I change my career and begin to start doing something that felt like was really yummy and juicy and more in alignment and a different expression of me, but there was this whole belief system and philosophy behind this form of body work that just added that element that had been missing for me. So the spiritual element, I guess. Yeah. So the Kahuna philosophy, I guess, goes into kahunas being shamans or wise men or wise women or teachers in Hawaiian tradition or Polynesian tradition. And so I guess when you say Kahuna massage, you mean like an expert or a teacher of massage, so someone who, you know, really is embodying that work. So kahunas were the wise men, wise women, the teachers, the shamans of that society. And the Hawaiian massage or the Kahuna massage was used as a rite of passage or like quite often through puberty. So, you know, quite a beautiful time to be, and it could go for days, like literally, could you imagine?
No, it's so interesting because realistically for me on face value, you know, in my experience before I've actually met you and done Hawaiian massage, it's just like, okay, I'm coming in to have a nice rub down, or sometimes, you know, you might get in there and just get a few muscles out. So to understand the history and philosophy behind it, it really just, you just go into more in depth, more an experience rather than actually just getting a rub down. Is that, you know, what I kind of define it as. And I think what I've got in my notes, if I move the cat, because I was sharing a little bit more of my face value, like because you've learnt the whole experience of being a giver, but you've also been a receiver.
I have. So
I guess what draws you to both sides, or what sort of elements did you take in from both sides?
And that's the thing, you know, my first experience was as a receiver, and that was just mind-blowing in itself. Just, I guess, to be, I'm loath to use the word intimate, because I feel like if I use that word, people are going to be like, "Whoa, what does she mean when she's saying intimate? What kind of things are going on in this kind of massage?" But it is a real intimacy and vulnerability and sensuality in the holistic approach of this massage that, as a woman and as someone who's receiving any kind of massage, I found it was such a safe space, such a connected space, that I felt like it's just so much easier to fully let go and receive completely, which really is one of the biggest things that massage is all about, having that space and time to be in receiving mode. So as a receiver, that was, you know, besides all the benefits of, I could feel myself clearing and, you know, feeling more grounded and all of the yummy juicy bits, like at the point of difference, I guess, from other massages, it really did, it was just holistic. It felt like it brought everything to the table, literally.
But then you flipped it on its head by becoming the one to give.
I know.
And so that would change the experience entirely, or maybe you can feel just connected and it's just therapeutic for you as the giver, or...
It is amazing because it's quite an energetic massage style, as you would know, and quite often after I've given treatments, people are like, "Oh my God, you must be exhausted after doing all of that work," because it isn't just a stationary sort of, "Oh yeah, I'm here, oh, and then I'm over there." Like there's all of the flowing strokes, there's the Tai Chi and hula movements that are going on around the table. So in that style and being a practitioner who, because I love dance and I love movement and I love music, and music is such a large part of this treatment. You know, the songs are almost the catalyst of what you flow with. So the fact that I found this style of bodywork where I got to dance around a table for an hour and a half, and that sounds fun, but there's a lot of work going on as well. Energy. But there was this energy exchange happening. Like, it wasn't just me giving. It is such a dance with the person on the table as well. And, you know, after massaging thousands and thousands of bodies now, you know, there's such a difference between someone who completely releases and letting go. And as you could imagine on the dance floor, imagine if you were someone who, you know, was someone who's like, or was someone who just like lets you do whatever you want. Yeah. So it is this amazing exchange, this relationship that gets created.
It's interesting that you mentioned like this flow and this dance, and it seems so energetic. However, I feel like in a point of difference with having a massage with you, I feel like energy is released, but I am not leaving like worked up and like everything out. I feel like it's a complete different experience, and I think that is your point of difference. Maybe elaborate more on how you bring that to the table.
I guess because I work predominantly with women, because that is my passion, and women are amazing, and all of the reasons that we'll probably get into. We will get into that. Honouring the feminine this month.
Yeah, it's all about the women.
But I guess, you know, I've had lots of Kahuna massage, and you know, when I was learning it, it was a very fast style. It was a very fast style of massage, especially up and down the spine. We were taught to do, you know, 20 minutes or so just on the spine to help it was almost to overstimulate the nervous system, so then I just went, ugh.
Wow.
But for me, as a woman, working with other women, I noticed that most women are already feeling overstimulated and stressed out and overwhelmed. And I didn't want to be bringing something that was, I guess, you know, the cathartic release is a part of it for lots of Kahuna practitioners, and it can be a really important part. But we already have so many triggers and stresses that bring about cathartic experiences in our everyday, the overwhelm, you know,
of course,
overload. But for me, when I was working with women, when I had them on the table when we were doing treatments, I wanted to be able to help them come back to themselves. I wanted to bring them back into alignment with themselves, you know, back to their soul, I guess, and feel like they were gathering all of the scattered pieces back together so that they left feeling whole and grounded and centered and powerful. Not like, oh my God, you know, I've just been broken apart, and that's amazing because everything has been let go of.
Yeah, but how to deal with that moving forward.
Yeah, but then to scoop it all up, you know, and go, okay, by the time we've finished here, you feel complete and grounded. And sometimes so much, I guess, like yourself again, that you don't even realise that that's all happened on the table. I can find sometimes, because it's like you're back in your naturalness, such a natural place for you to be in. It can be underestimated, like the power of what's gone on that brings all of it back together.
I feel like you've touched on my next question. We'll do a shout out. We've got Kate and Megan and Lillian, Eilish. Oh, there's so many people. Thank you so much for jumping on and supporting our little live that we've got going on here. It's massive information, and I love learning the backstory, because again, if you're just tuning in, it can tend to be a massage is a rub down that we might get every now and then, that someone might shout us, and you go to this person, and you might go to this store or this shop, and the treatment really can be a 5 out of 10, and sometimes it can be a 10 out of 10, but then that person moves on, or you didn't really even understand what they did for you. So I'm really touching base with Shekinah, and if anybody already knew or did their research, we're actually on the Gold Coast. So she runs her practice here on the Gold Coast, which is super exciting, and you'll see the tag link there that or where she's located, so we can look more into that. But what I was discussing about our next question was, sorry, I took us off.
Oh, that's okay. Is what it was.
Is more benefits of spiritual and emotional relief. I feel like you kind of touched base on that.
Touch on that, yeah, absolutely.
But how much deeper it really can go, like in ways of our systems, in ways of even our mood. and moods moving forward, or what we've been dealing with. Yeah. Did you want to elaborate more on that? Or I think we kind of covered it.
I think it doesn't hurt to touch on it a little bit more,
Yeah.
I guess, especially since you brought it up. And as you were saying, the point of difference, and you know, you can go get a massage and it can be a rub down, or some people just don't even really know what a great massage feels like.
Yeah.
And that makes me sad.
Yeah.
But you know, any massage really, unless I really don't know what they're doing and they hurt you in some way, has the physical benefits of helping aches and pains release, you know, tension, stress, you know, anything that helps the muscles let go is actually really beneficial for the body, and that's great. So obviously that happens in pretty much any massage you can get.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I love about Hawaiian style, but I guess also, you know, I've been massaging for long enough that I know that I do Hawaiian style different to lots of other people as well.
Sure.
And, you know, I always think, I'll go a little astrology on you.
I love that. We love that. Astrology. Anybody else follow the moon phases? And they're like, anyway, continue on.
I'll continue. So I've got double liver in my chart, which is all about balance, harmony, and beauty. And it's something that I love, you know, I've just realized really recently actually, is that I pride myself, if that's the right word, on being able to find that perfect balance for each client between pleasure and pain, of like relaxation and being able to do the deep work that's necessary, like finding that balance for each person where they can have the work done that needs to be done while still being able to release and like go instead of being like, what is she doing? So that by the end of the treatment, sometimes they've even forgotten how many times I've heard them. Not many times.
It's a good feeling. It's a good hurt.
Because the ratio of pleasure and relaxation, you know, just outshines, you know, that sort of thing. So yeah, so there's the physicality that goes on with it. But with the Hawaiian, there's that spiritual aspect and the mental aspect that comes into it, because it just works on all of those levels. And I guess as an introvert, like I'm not really talking at all when I'm in my treatments, but there's a whole lot of energy work that goes on behind the scenes.
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
Going woo-woo, I was going astrology, now I'm going woo-woo on people.
Being authentically you, and I love that.
Me, is that, you know, there's lots of work that happens on the auric field. So there's like an auric massage going on as well. There's chakra balancing that happens. And there's also, and this is probably not something that many people have heard of, but I'm mindfully doing an assemblage point shift.
Wow, I don't even know what that means. Okay, do you want to elaborate on that?
To great depth. But an assemblage point, if you could imagine it this way, is where your aura or your energy, oh, so cute,
laying all over my book down,
assembled in your body or in your field. And so in the tradition that I was taught, and not the Hawaiian tradition, it's a different tradition, we talk about where this assemblage point should go, like the line that it should go on, and all of the places it can be where it's out of alignment, and so different things can be going on for you. So even that weaving of magic, I guess, is happening as well. So, people are on the table face down or face up, eyes closed, cloth over their eyes, like they've got no idea of all of the subtleties that are happening that really make it this amazing, holistic, transformational experience.
And is that what Hawaiian massage is about, or is that something you personally incorporate because you've just learnt so much more about the body and the systems and massage incorporation?
It's almost hard to know anymore because it's been so long, but definitely, the auric massage was something that I was first taught. We do this thing called flying over the body, so it really is helping to integrate and balance all of the energies that are going on around us, because I imagine, and it was from a different tradition that we're in, luminous egg, you know, of our own energy field, and it gets penetrated by things all of the time. Sometimes things we want it to be, sometimes things we don't want it to be.
Sure.
And so it is about, I guess, reestablishing the integrity of that. The chakra balancing, I think I learned it with Kahuna.
Yeah.
But, you know, having been a yoga teacher and done the American, you know, healing tradition, like there is a whole lot of yummy, juicy stuff that I don't speak about. That goes into, I don't know, just making it this thing where people get to leave and go, I don't even know what quite happened, but that was great.
I'll be definitely touching base on my personal experience because I guess I didn't really know that. I've just learned that right now. And so that actually really has happened for me through my experience with you. And sorry, just quickly, I just think, you know, when it comes to the reality of internal adrenal functions and immune functions, and so while spiritual level, there actually is the healing going on inside, and that like inflammation and immunity is attacked like or happening all the time, and it's something that we really need to be mindful of. So I think it's one of the hidden gems that get touched on whilst getting a massage with you. But I'll share a little bit more about my personal experience because I am not a massage therapist, and I have had hot stone before, which was way too hot, and I just felt like I was burned. I had a really uncomfortable experience, but you know, I've been overseas and had some massages and miscommunications and different things. And, look, some of them have been a rub down, and some of them have been quite like stimulating and refreshing, and I've done good things for the body. But it is only really when I first and I say I took a chance. I think for me, being a personal trainer and working with you was a pretty big deal for me to break down my personal walls of showing myself for and just getting personal. And I know for a lot of people that, you know, taking your clothes off and being vulnerable is a pretty big deal. So when I first came here, it wasn't about, okay, let's get you on the table. I was able to sit down and have a cup of tea and just talk more about myself. And that sounds really silly, but I know how relatable it is to speak to a lot of women out there, how much they don't wish to speak about themselves, and they make it all about others. And when you're in that state, when someone actually genuinely wants to know what they're working with and how to help you through a massage experience, it was just hugely validating and really exciting because I then felt completely comfortable and I knew that I was in safe hands, that I was going to have a massive experience. And so for me, I guess I'm a trainer, but there are ebbs and flows with that. So often my training will be all on, all in, and it'll feel like Shekinah's really working on bringing my body back together just because of all the overwork and the lack of stretching and yoga, etc. But sometimes it's been an emotional thing, just really giving back to myself after an outpour to everybody else, and that's just my personality. That's what I do, but it's been really nice to come on that emotional and spiritual side of things as well. So I think that's sort of me and my background and why I choose to come through here and do that experience with you. But what kind of common elements do you see present, or what kind of women do you work with when they come to your table? What's the variety there?
There's such a variety. I mean, I've worked with, you know, teens to 80-year-olds. So you can imagine there's all sorts of things going on there. And I love the word you used, validation, because it's one of the things that I find the most important, whether I'm doing massage or women's circles or, you know, whenever I'm working with women, validation is so important.
Yeah.
So I just want to...
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for that. Makes me feel good.
I know. So what were we talking about?
The kind of people and aliens.
Yeah. And because again, I mean, I've worked with women and men, but I really love working with women because I see that, like you said, we don't quite often put ourselves first.
No.
And so what I find a lot of the time is that women are obviously showing up stressed and overwhelmed, but quite often that's leading into things like chronic fatigue, you know, long-term illness and like adrenal burnout and stuff like that. And for me, you know, my belief, you know, what I believe, that women are just doing so much these days. You know, we're busy, we're achieving, we're overwhelmed, we're always on the go. And, you know, it's a very masculine society that has us just always doing stuff. And if we're not doing stuff, we're made to feel like we're being lazy or, you know, not contributing enough to society, or not contributing enough to our children or our work, or all of those sorts of things. So it's a very rare woman and a very rare opportunity when we just get to be, when we get to just receive, to experience, to allow, to trust, to flow. And I guess to be in that place where there's always something that needs to be done, I know, but where we can be in that place where we know that it doesn't need to be done now, so we can create a space, a separation where we are just being. Because I mean, as women, that's our natural state. That's the feminine state, is being, is allowing creativity to flow through us, inspiration to flow through us. I mean, we're the birthers, you know. We are the chaotic everything. And when we are always so busy doing everything, there's no time for all of the juicy naturalness to move through us. So that's what I find most of the time, is that, you know, no matter where it is on the spectrum, most women are not making time for themselves, and they feel selfish or guilty, whether it's mother guilt or just woman guilt for spending money on themselves. And it's just...
It's unfortunate that we do that. It's almost like it's in tune to our thinking that we shouldn't put that money aside, or we just don't have time for that because this person, that person, or our children, or something always comes up. And so I'm glad that you touched base, because realistically I feel everyone deserves that. And it's almost, for me, well, it is a priority. So I have been getting monthly massages. Hi Katrina and Em, shout out to you guys. Thanks so much for watching. I make it a priority. So for me, I'm all about holistic well-being. First and foremost, though, like training comes first. Then, like, obviously, my nutrition is highly on the table. But giving back to my body is hugely important, and that's why monthly massages with you has been it's just a part of a routine. And I think, unfortunately, a lot of us just see it as a luxury. And definitely. I don't believe that it is. I think once you find that person, and for me it is you, but that understands your body, that just to go way off course,
let's do that.
But the other week it was the full moon, and I was getting my massage, but you spent like there was like an hour before our massage where we were talking about moon manifestation and all of those type of things. And, you know, you didn't have to take that extra time. We didn't have to go there, but it really just spiritually filled up that cup. And also then I got to go on the table, and then it set me for the rest of the day. And you don't realize until you've had it that how important that really is. And so for those that may be on the line or that watch this replayed, or even if it's shared with you, you know, what are the benefits to maybe someone who's not as spiritual as me, but that should have a monthly massage, that really should be incorporating this into their holistic regime?
I guess when we, you know, come back to that physical level, you know, just using the word like stress and overwhelm can, I don't know, be a bit superficial. We're so used to hearing those words all the time, we sort of forget what they really mean. And so, you know, as we were discussing, you know, most of the women that I see coming through having that stress, that overwhelm, you know, that is something that is being locked into the physical body. And that's where, you know, the chronic fatigue and illnesses and, you know, immune system, you know, running down. Exactly. So the immune system's running down, our adrenal system's just way overworked because, you know, we don't have the testosterone levels that keep us moving, going all the time. So we have to use cortisol. So you know, that's why we have adrenal fatigue. And then that just causes all sorts of hormonal stuff. So being able to come and have a regular massage, and, you know, Hawaiian's always my favorite, but, you know, all good massages are good massages and have their amazing benefits. It allows the body. So imagine every time you have an emotional reaction, and, you know, as fully functioning empathic, sensitive human beings.
That's what women are, yeah.
Yes, we have emotional responses all the time.
Mm.
And if we're not letting them flow through us, which quite often we're not, because we might be in an inappropriate place that we feel, you know, that we can't be expressing what's going on for us, we lock it in. And so all those chemicals get locked into different type parts in our bodies. And so having that physical release where you're actually moving that through is like an amazing detox. So it means that there's not toxins and chemicals accumulating in your body. So you're doing a regular clean out, really. You know, it is like people do fasting once a month or sometimes once a week, or, you know, it's that sort of thing. Like, it's the same premise, I guess, of being able to help and support the body let go of what's not serving it. Yeah. And once it's, you know, creates that space then from those things moving through, all the yummy things get to come in. You're making space for what you actually do want in your life. So, you know, on that physical level of letting the toxins, chemicals, all of that yucky stuff, stress, the aches, pains, all the stuff, the tangible stuff that we really notice, that's amazing as a monthly thing. But then just, I don't know about you, but there's been a lot of times in my day, let alone my life, where I feel like I'm crazy.
Yeah, life gets that crazy that you think that you're going crazy.
That you think like you're going crazy. I'm the only one who's feeling this way. Like, how come I can't deal with it? You know, all of that sort of stuff. And again, that is just an accumulation of emotional baggage that we're not letting, you know, able to let go of regularly, because we're filled up every day. And I can sort of go into why and how that happens, but I won't right now.
We've got a few lives to get through, so I'm sure that'll come up over the series.
But it's a really juicy topic to go into that whole idea of diffuse awareness and how women kind of operate and why we do get so full of information and emotion. Yeah. So again, having that regular massage, and for some people, you know, it could be weekly, for some it's fortnightly, for some it's monthly. But I think, you know, as a part of a mindful and sustainable self-care routine, like monthly is probably really good. A lot happens in a month. A lot happens in a day, let alone a week, you know, let alone a month. So just being able to empty that on all levels, get that spiritual, energetic realignment, you know, it's just kind of priceless. Like, it's such a powerful tool to have, and it feels amazing. It's like when I go to you, I love your personal training. I love that personal training. Purpose. And it serves an amazing purpose. It allows me to stay strong enough to be able to do this work.
However,
but it's not fun.
It's fun after
she has me. And I got to work hard. Whereas, you know, people who come to me, they just get to be.
I think it is a level of management. I think, like, even for my partner, she'll come sporadically to you, and I know she'll be coming back to you. And there's a whole, like, obviously she's post-cancer, so again, a different kettle of fish, and I'm sure we'll cover things like that in the coming week. But sorry, I'm getting off track just with the management side of things. It gets to the point where we go, oh gosh, my neck, the tension, the stress. It gets to this point, and we go, oh, we finally need a massage, but one massage isn't going to undo everything all at once, and that's why it's so good to just have that fluent treatment of management. Just like exercise, we have maybe 3 strength days and a couple of stretch days and some cardio days. It's just about having that management. So I guess to tie us all in, to finish us up on that road ahead, let's just do a little bit of a shout out to the different massage options. I know that we've spoken on Hawaiian only, but you've actually got kitty cat's on his way out.
It's like, oh, it's over.
So now available.
I love cats.
So I get what else do you offer in the massage department? Like, what's the variables there?
I mean, there really are lots of options because I've been, you know, massaging for over a decade now. Hawaiian is obviously my specialty. I just love it from all those levels. But like I was saying, like, any good massage is a good massage. So, you know, I also have therapeutic massage, which is a blend of Swedish and deep tissue. I have just a relaxation massage, which is like a gentle Swedish. There's aromatherapy that has essential oils. But if you come to me, you'll probably find that I use essential oils in almost every massage anyway. Yeah. Because that's just like a whole another track of amazing stuff. But and then I guess I also have the specialty Hawaiian treatments, like the Sacred Deep Release, which uses like a blend of 8 different essential oil blends.
Wow.
And sound, so different sorts of sound. And instruments for like a really deep emotional release. You know, it's really good if you're going through something traumatic or life changing, or it's just you've got to that point where you're like, oh my god, yeah, I've been locking this stuff down for so long, and there's just a bit of like deeper work that needs to happen. And there's the Ultimate Body Harmony, which is one of my favorites. It's based on the raindrop technique, so it has 9 different essential oils, and they're all sort of like hot oils. They're really good for your immune system, so it's great at change of season to help keep your body strong and in balance, and your immune system sort of firing on all pistons, so to speak. Or if you are feeling a little run down, been pushing yourself really hard. I know for me that if I push myself physically hard for too long, I'm much better these days at not pushing for too long. I get my daughter, I mean, she can't do a full massage on me, but she can just use these oils along my spine. And so I, use those, and I think, oh, hang on, I've been pushing too hard. Don't want to get sick. Don't want to feel run down. Don't want all those little niggly things to come up. I use those oils. So that incorporates the Hawaiian style, which is always amazing with those oils. So, yeah, there's lots of
So you can go
options.
From massaging teens to pregnancy
to definitely the pregnancy massage is amazing. I love doing pregnancy massage because not a whole lot of things that women can do when they're pregnant to help get rid of aches and pains and different things that are going on. You're not allowed to do this, not allowed to take that. So massage is an awesome option. And I mean, it's not only good for mama, but when you do Hawaiian style, because you're massaging, belly, which means you're massaging baby.
That's so cute.
This really beautiful bonding experience that happens. Like it's very, very beautiful. And postnatal, I love doing the postnatal treatments because again, a woman, they've given birth, and whether that was, naturally or by cesarean or however it happened, you're still usually being kind of broken wide open. Probably one of the most vulnerable experiences you'll ever have. And so for me, being able to do that postnatal Hawaiian style treatment just brings that healing and integration and all those fragmented bits that just kind of went, whoa, what happened? And,
back together.
Especially first time mothers, they were not mothers before they gave birth, and now they are. So there's a whole lot of really juicy, deep integration that needs to happen. And then, if you bring into it any kind of traumatic, birthing experience, and that's like a whole other level of work that, the new mums really need.
I love that because I've got a few mamas on my network that I know would love and benefit from a massage. And I've even known mamas that are post. I know a lot of mamas thinking about it. But and it's funny. It brings me to how much we are working on the Paying It Forward sort of project for this month, and I hope that for whoever's watching this, maybe you can think of somebody that would really benefit from a massage. But we have so much more on the table. I know Shekinah is going to drop a link inside or down below of this live once we finish. And you just click on that link, and actually you can nominate someone that you know, love, and care about. And in 25 words or less, just sort of elaborate on why you would love that person to either get a massage, but there's a few other cool, really nice gifts as well. So obviously tonight was about massage. So if you think that there's somebody out there, definitely click on the link, and you will be announcing at the end of the month. So definitely share, pay it forward. That's what we're about, and that's what hopefully you guys are going to benefit from with that. So
absolutely, creating connection, sharing the love, tagging someone that you love and appreciate and have gratitude for, and being able to express that, and maybe at the same time win them a free treatment. Like,
please nominate me.
You can talk. I can't massage myself.
You can't massage yourself, and I can't. Sorry. All right. Well, I don't know if there was any questions that popped up, but if there was, or if you have any questions from this, please pop it on the live. We'll definitely get back to you, or Shekinah will, because she is the knowledge goddess on this department.
I'll do my best.
But thank you again so much for joining. We love feedback. We'd love to hear from you, and we'll see you next week, same time, 7.
Yes.
Different topic. But more of an elaboration on honouring the feminine. It's done. I'm excited. Bye for now.
Thank you.